Okay, bees. All right, so I put that was supposed to be the second half of part two, but I lost the first part of that. So that's gone. So if you tuned into that last one and I was just kind of in the middle of continuing the story, I'm sorry. There's something going on with the uploading and anyway, it's crazy. I used to do a podcast and work all kinds of equipment and a pro broadcasting podcast, and I had listeners all over the world. And I can't upload the videos on my phone anymore. I don't know. I'm just getting older by the day, I guess. But I'll just close out a little bit of more talk about mental illness and such. And then this will be just part three of the series, and then after that I'll go into getting myself sober, and then onto the physical stuff. But a few things. If you do suffer from, maybe you're just now starting to have panic attacks that you never had before, right? You don't have medication. You don't know what's going on. You think you're having a heart attack. Your heart's pounding. You're breathing heavy. That's a panic attack. It comes on quickly. You don't know what the hell's. You think you're dying. You don't know what to do. Or maybe you just don't have your, maybe the doctor prescribed you some Xanax and you don't have any, you're out of it. Anyway, you're in a situation where you have to ground yourself. This is some of the few things I did learn that were helpful while I was in the hospital from different, some of the counselors. To ground yourself during a panic attack. Once you realize you're having a panic attack, and I'm telling you that's what it is. If you're a healthy person, you're not having a heart attack. Your heart is pounding. You feel like you need to escape from your body. You're freaking out. It's a panic attack. All right. So to ground yourself, get in a position where you're comfortable sitting, laying down, whatever it is. Put your feet flat on the ground. In other words, grounding yourself to the earth, onto the floor, your feet ground. Breathe. I know it's impossible to really breathe through your stomach because humans breathe through their lungs, but try to think of breathing through your stomach, which actually babies and toddlers, if you notice, they have big stomachs. The stomachs are still big until they get taller because they actually kind of breathe with their stomachs. So you have your feet grounded. Take like a deep breath. Slowly let your stomach fill up. All right, let your stomach. You know how you push your stomach out if you can. Let your stomach just fill up with air, and blow it out. Slowly, as your feet are grounded. You do that a few times. Take a deep breath, almost like the air is filling up your stomach. So you're kind of like breathing through your stomach, even though technically you're not. It's your lungs, but you're using your stomach. Let your stomach just full. Push it out. Breathe out. As you breathe out, your stomach can stay out too. Well, whatever's bothering you, even if nothing's bothering you, it just came on. Think of something that bothers you, like whatever stressors you may have. So take a deep breath in, like it doesn't have to be through your nose, but it could be just stress. You say the word as you fill up your stomach, or like job or whatever, whatever problems you have, like when your boyfriend's driving you nuts, or your girlfriend or whatever, like and you say their name and you just let it out. And that you do a few breaths, and you got to keep your feet grounded and take breaths through your stomach. I know it sounds weird, but do it. I'm telling you, you'll ground yourself. It'll take you out of the panic attack. You still may be having a stressful time, but it'll be a lot easier. You have to ground yourself, because when you're having a panic attack, you're not grounded. You need your balance back. So you got, like I said, you get your feet balanced to the ground, flat, both feet. Deep breaths, let your stomach fill up with the air. Like that's the feeling you got to get. And then you feel yourself get heavy and like relaxed. And that's how you get out of it. I'm telling you. It'll probably work for 90% of people. I mean, I don't know if it doesn't work for you, but if you really, and even if you're not having a panic attack, practice doing that other times, and you'll learn how to do it. And even if you have to focus on something, look at the fan or something and just take a breath, fill up your stomach, let it out, and just say whatever it is that's bothering you, job, stress, life. Just even if you say the word, whatever. Your boyfriend's name is Rick. Rick, like, oh, like, fuck you. I try not to swear a lot on here. I mean, in real life, I do swear a lot because that's kind of like the way I grew up. But, whatever the problem is, and that's how you do it. So, yeah, like that second part was continued from another part this is what I was talking about, some tips and tricks and stuff. Another time that really did help me, I swear, more than the actual doctors and the therapists and all that. There was a lady, a Jamaican lady. She worked like crazy, day and night. She was so impressive with her energy, and her, and there was another guy too. Both, and the man was Jamaican too, and they had a way of talking to me that was so calming. I don't know, but the one day, I think it was like a week or so, I was in, I think, Ramapo Ridge, and they allowed me to finally shave, because you weren't allowed to shave, because, the razor. She allowed me to shave while she stood next to me. And, she's just like an aide, a person who gets your clothes for you, or like times you while you're in the shower, this and that. And I was shaving, and she stood right there, and I think the security person or whatever, because it's not usually they let you shave. I just happened to, because I was so itchy, I had like a full beard, because I grow a full beard in like 4 days. I said, please let me shave. Okay, so I was shaving, and somehow it relaxed me to shave, and I said to her, I said, I can't think of her name. I said, because I was so messed up. I said, tell me, I said, do you think I'm going to get out of this? Like, do you think I'll be able to be like my old self again? What do you think? You've seen a lot of people in here or whatever. And, she's not supposed to give advice or anything or whatever. But, I mean, she said to me, she goes, yes. She goes, I feel it, and God has told me that you will be okay. And that was one of the other short moments of that I had in there with her. I wish I knew who she was. To this day, I'll always think about her. Out of all the staff, all the doctors, counselors, therapists, sometimes the people that work really hard and that they know more than anybody. And she knew what to say, or maybe she really did feel that way. Maybe another quick story. My second time in Patterson, I told you about the guy, Jesus, who didn't talk for like the whole week. Well, that was in the part that was deleted. Anyway, he was standing by the area where you get your medications, and he didn't move out of the way. And I simply just said, Jesus, I said, I need to get my medication, excuse me, and he just stared at me, and he went, no talk. And those are the only 2 words he said to me the whole week. And this guy, he was my roommate. My bed was just practically a mattress on the floor. It was in the kind of like the front of the room, and his bed was like diagonal, like towards the back. And there was a chair in between the 2 beds, and it would be 3, 4 in the morning, and I'd be like trying to sleep, whatever. But you have the people, once in a while the aide will walk by and they look in the room every half an hour, so they do their rounds. It's like you can't get any sleep anyway. But I happened to just turn around. She walked by, and they have to push the door open a little more, lets a little light in, and I saw a shadow, and he was sitting in the chair. at like 4 or 5 in the morning, just sitting in the chair with his eyes wide open, sitting in the darkness, totally quiet, and he would just be sitting there all night long, sit in the chair. Now I'm sitting here trying to sleep, and this is a guy who doesn't talk to anyone, doesn't change his clothes, doesn't shower, just go eat his lunch. I would give him half my food sometimes to try to, you know, not be friends with him, but just trying to make a connection. Because I wasn't eating that much, so I'd give him my stuff that I didn't eat, desserts and stuff, and wouldn't talk, wouldn't say a word, nothing, just all those 2 words, no talk. I don't know if he meant not to talk to him or that he doesn't talk, but that's all he said. Even to the therapist, whatever, no, he wouldn't talk to anyone. Anyway, the second week when I was back, when I had left and came back, he was gone. And I was in the room. I was in one room. It was very rare to have your own room. I had my own room that was in Patterson. And they brought this guy in the middle of the night. I was like half awake, 3, 4 in the morning. Big black dude, dreads, big dude. It's like, you hear them talking. They're like, they had him all drugged up or whatever, I guess. And I heard the people who brought him in, the security and the nurses were like, yeah, he was hearing voices, to kill people, kill himself and kill other people, kill people and then kill himself. And I'm hearing this. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, they're leaving this guy in the room with me. Fuck, Anyway, but I don't think I went to sleep the rest of the night. I tried to. Woke up the next day. He was still sleeping. I went to go lunch, whenever, walk around, come back to the room, still sleeping. He slept, I swear, no lie, probably 2.5 days straight. Slept. Didn't even wake up. Snoring, slept. So I had to try to, I don't know what was going on. I mean, they came in and I think, gave him medications. But besides that, he slept 2 days straight. And, the whole floor is mixed of all kinds of people. But, some more strange than others, whatever. But, I was thinking of what they said, though, when he left him. And then I guess they were giving him his medications. On, like, the 3rd day, I went to go have lunch. I came back, and he was kind of sitting up. And he looked up at me, and I looked at him. And he goes, did I miss lunch? And I'm like, kind of, yeah. I go, if you could go down there quick, they'll probably have something for you. But they had already closed the cafeteria, so he came back, and then I went and told the lady, I go, hey, the guy didn't have lunch. I go, he's been sleeping for 3 days. So they brought him a sandwich or something. And totally normal. Nicest guy you could ever imagine. We became instant buddies. Nicest guy you could ever imagine. He was just off his medication. He was up from Virginia. He was up here, and he couldn't refill his medication. He was a schizophrenia, and had lost it or whatever. And they brought him in, and he was all messed up. And they pumped him up on the medications and came back. But I mean, at first, this guy, who knows? But those are some moments that were a little bit enjoyable, even though overall it was quite the ordeal. But I just wanted to close up with some more of the mental health stuff. The other lady who taught me that grounding move was a woman in actually Englewood. She played the guitar a little bit. She was kind of a hippie lady, and she taught us that grounding trick. So I didn't want you to think it was all terrible. I mean, obviously, mental health needs to be really improved in this country, and the places I was were, the conditions are horrible, but, they just don't give you any attention. They just want to pump you up on the drugs and get you out of there. But like I said, coming out of it was one of the most amazing things. Like I mentioned when I was in that car coming home, and everything kind of came to life. And I can hear music again, and actually sit and watch TV. I mean, I couldn't watch TV or listen to music in probably like 3-4 months. I mean, and then I was able to start driving a little bit later, and actually got back to work. Started working a little more and more, and it's a tough time. Like I said, it just your mind, I guess, maybe take longer to heal than physical things. It depends, but don't think just because a person has a psychiatric mental illnesses or whatever that they don't like to be visited or because I think the stigma, like a lot of times people are kind of afraid to be around me or whatever, or thought different of me. There's you're still the same person, or you're always the same person inside. It's just like going through any other kind of issue, but it just happens to be something in your mind. But when you're back to stable, I mean, even when I wasn't stable, I wasn't dangerous. I mean, I was dangerous probably to myself, but I had to go for quite therapy. When I was back to work, I had to keep going for therapy. I even had to go for like anger therapy to deal with my emotions from when I was younger, and had to deal with anger. I had a lot of issues with like relationships, and I realized that like when I was younger, I was what you call a self-sabotager. This is when you can do things or whatever, but you don't believe it's true. Like, say you have a girlfriend and you're getting close and you've been together for a while, and because you were abused or whatever it is, you purposely push them away. You purposely sabotage your own relationship, or you sabotage your own, like in school, I would purposely not do well, even though I could easily do it. It's almost like you're self-sabotaging because you just don't trust anyone, or you always think, instead of getting hurt, I'll just end this now, or I don't know, any of my old girlfriends, I apologize if I pushed you away or whatever. It's just that I didn't know how to deal with being close to somebody. Still to this day, I have issues, and my girlfriend, we try to do the best we can with it, because, when you're through a lot of trauma, it's just the way it is. It's hard to have a relationship with somebody when you have these issues, but you got to work through it, and, we have. So, but that's another thing. I was, what they called, you could be a self-sabotager. So if you are, stop sabotaging yourself. Get your confidence up, and you can do it. Accept that you can be loved by somebody. Don't push them away because you're scared of getting hurt, whatever the case may be. So, I don't know, just a few more things I wanted to share about the mental illness. Like I said, because that other video was gone, so I know people might have been watching this series and got confused. So that's it. And then my next upload will probably be about the quitting drinking, which it's another very serious issue. Drinking, it's serious. When it starts to really affect your life. So that'll be next. All right.